Hello everyone, my name is Nikhitha Shaju and this is my speech about the culture of India. So today I wanted to give you an insight into the Indian culture by looking at its people and their values. So, as the second most populated country in the world, India is the most diverse and intellectually developed nation with a population around 1.3 billion. India is well known for its uniqueness and culture. India is one of the world's oldest civilizations and is home to many ancient artifacts and landmarks. So, I am from India myself. And in an Indian household, growing up made me more knowledgeable about my country. With a rich history and culture, India is a fascinating place. It is home to various traditions and faiths. As a way to inform and teach individuals about my country, I chose to talk about the culture of India. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Indian culture by discussing the stereotype that is laid upon this culture and solutions on how to resolve these conflicts. First, I will discuss the Indian culture. Second, I will talk about the stereotypes and the misconceptions that is laid upon this culture. And lastly, I will talk about the solution on how to overcome these disputes. So, let's start by getting to know a bit more about the Indian culture. According to Kim Ann Zimmerman, a life science contributor, defines Indian culture is among one of the world's oldest civilization in the world, which began around 4,500 years ago. India would not be the same without its people. Indian people bring diversity and culture to the nation. Throughout the 28 states in India, India recognizes 23 official spoken languages throughout the nation. According to the Times of India, Hindi is the official mother tongue language in India, and it is the most spoken language in that nation. According to the Handbook of Research on Development and Religion by Matthew Clark, India is also home to one of the world's oldest religions, Hinduism. 84% of Indians identify as Hindus. India also showcases a variety of arts and artifacts. One of the most well-known architecture around the world is Taj Mahal, also known as one of the 7 wonders of the world, which is located in India. Indian art such as classical folk dances and music dates back to thousands of years and have a major historical impact on this nation. Now that you have a better understanding of the history of the Indian culture, I wanted to shift my focus towards the stereotypes and misconceptions that hinder these interpersonal communication process of this culture. For a densely populated country, India is often largely overlooked by other nations around the world, and this tends to create many stereotypes and misconceptions towards India and its culture. According to Forrest Yu, a travel expert, these are some of the common stereotypes and misconceptions towards an Indian culture. So I have listed 5 of the most common misconceptions that are seen around the world about India. That is that most Indians are seen as poor, and people around the world think that Indian is a language, which is not. And Indian people tend to believe that Indian people are uneducated, which is completely not true. There are many well-educated Indians out there, and there are some that cannot deal with it. And all Indian food are spicy, which is completely not true. There are desserts, many drinks, and lovely desserts were completely sweet and delicious. And that all Indians are Hindus. There are more than one religion in India. There are Christianity, Islam, Sikhism, and much more. So these are some of the main misconceptions that I tend to find according to my research. India attracts many stereotypes and misconceptions due to its vast variety of cultures and people with different backgrounds. Although most of these stereotypes and misconceptions can be eliminated with common sense, there has been extensive research done in order to debunk these claims. Lastly, let's take a moment to address the issues of stereotypes and misconception towards India and its culture. Addressing these misconceptions would be the first step to take in elevating the problem. Ann Taylor, professor at USD, states that the major cause of stereotypes and misconceptions come from the lack of knowledge, and the best way to address it would be to educate the people. By educating the people, we can eliminate or lessen many of these common misconceptions. My solution to elevating these problems or these misconceptions would be to find a way to educate the public and to correct them of any misconceptions that are left behind. So my first would be by creating an educational website which would be easily available to worldwide, so that way people have an easy access to study about other cultures. And my second one would be to create an educational documentary which depicts Indian culture accurately. I wanted to use these minutes to outline my observation as my speech comes to an end. In conclusion, throughout my speech, I have informed you all of India's vibrant culture and the misconceptions which exist together with its culture, as well as a way to resolve it by informing the public. India has a lot of bringing to the world, and as a nation which is renowned for its culture, as human beings, studying and teaching ourselves and others about the world is our responsibility. I did my best to educate you all about the culture of my country and my people, and now it's your turn. And that's all for my speech, and that's all. Thank you so much for listening.